Hello, so today we're gonna be looking at Google Classroom and how you can use it. You can see my Google Classroom. These are active classes that I'm teaching and classes that others are teaching. Here you can see Jose, Alex. I was helping last year. I could actually, if I didn't want to see these, I can unenroll from it, right? So if you have never created a class, go to the top right. You will create a class or you can join a class. So in this case, let's create a class and I'm going to call this demo class. Section, it doesn't matter, but I'm going to call it period F. And subject, the only reason this matters is that if, depending on what you do, it will find a theme for the color here. And the room really, again, doesn't matter. So I'm going to put this here. So I created a class because it's called demo class. It should be coming up soon. It's being created. It takes a minute. And there it is. Oh, well, here's the code that matters. So you can click here, display, and then students can join. You can do the following. Go to your MySA and put a link to your class and be sure to display this code. This is how students can self-enroll into your class. That way you don't have to do anything else. That's how you create a Google Classroom. Another thing to do is to go back to your other classes, go to the left. You see these three little lines, horizontal lines, we call them hamburger. Click on them, and then you see all your classes. Right now, we have this class that has just a couple of announcements I've created. I'm going to show you one of my actual classes. I'm going to go to my IB class. You can see the students if I click on people, right? And here are all my students. I can select all of them and then maybe send them an email, or I can mute one or all of them if they are making weird comments online. That never happens. I like to, this is my opening page where I can have announcements. This is how we did a sign in for calendar. Here's sometimes how I post images when I go and support them at their events. You can also post classwork. I organize them by topic, and this is a topic. Las Cajas de Cartón is a book we read. Poverty is a theme that we studied. This was created twice because why not? Las Meninas is another book we read. This is all materials that I have posted that are regarding IB. And the way to do that is simply you go to create. You can create an assignment or material. If material, that means everyone gets to see it. If it's an assignment, you have the option to create identical copies to everyone. You can use this for several classes, and I'm going to show you an assignment. So I'm going to go to an assignment. This is not real. Instructions, you can tell them type or record your voice or include an image. It's whatever your instructions are. You can add a document from Google Classroom, from Google Drive, which is what I recommend, or you can create a document and it will also work with Google Drive. Usually I like to create it, to add it from Google Drive. That means I created it where I wanted to create it and it's already sorted, but you don't have to. And then here you select for which class it will be and for all your students or some of your students. I like that. Sometimes, by the way, you can assign the same thing for all your classes if that's what you want. You can have points or no points. I always put a due date and a time. So let's say it's for next Friday and I want it at 4 p.m. And I also like to always have a topic. Remember, this is how you organize work with your kids. If the topic that is there is not the one you wanted, you can create a new topic by clicking here. I created it, but I'm not. And this is really important. I always have all their work. Uh, by the way, students can check their originality report 3 times as they're working through it. Originality report is a polite way of saying make sure this is not copied and pasted from the internet. So it checks against the internet. I like that. So I turn it on. And now this is important. You can assign it, you can schedule it, you can do whatever you want with this. In this case, you need to have a document. So I'm going to add a document to show you the really cool part. So I'm going to use this document. And when I assign it, here it is. I want each of these students to get a copy. So it will rename this copy that's called Conceptual Metaphors and Metonymies to include their last name. So if I have 10 students, there will be 10 versions of this document. Nobody modifies the original one because I have selected this. You have to do this the first time you assign something. You cannot change the settings of an assignment if you didn't pick this the first time. Remember that. So I'm going to do that. Then I click assign and I'm all done. It's not real. So if I go to this and I want to see how many people have done it, certainly none, because I just did it. And I could be looking at the work if they were working on it. I could see this, the original document, or I could look at this and see each of their documents, which is the same copy, and I could give them comments on it.